Our first fight today is with this massive goblin. But of course, why would I fight her? I mean, look at that thing. It's built like a brick house or several. The talk option uses your charisma stat to avoid fights, and the goblins have 3 types that you can guess from their picture and text, but it won't help if you roll and have 0 charisma anyway. So we must fight. As per usual, I use the guard option first to gain some action points for a more decisive action later, and to reduce damage now. First attack, I use the warhammer to deal a lot of damage and maybe stun on a crit. And the fight is finished with a near certain hit with focus, and an accurate sword to deal just enough damage. Most fights are easy with my stacked weapons, but if you can kill a monster with your bow's damage, always use an arrow so you can guarantee a kill. Ah, look at that! A mimic. Well, no regrets in killing that thing. Again, a defensive start. And again, I am combining the high damage hammer and fast sword trying to get good damage in, but my dodge rolls are terrible, and I take a lot of damage from this thing's bites. Well, that roasted dragon comes in handy for a heal. Never be afraid to eat something and heal. You will always die from low health before you die due to low mobility, so go ahead and gain weight. That is what you must do to survive. Anyway, this fight gives us a level, but also more weight. But you know that you won't hear me complain about that. Another hit to our already low agility score. I recommend keeping it above 0 at least, as monsters will start hitting you much more if you give them a bonus. You feel the gravity of your situation as you attempt to rise from a much-needed rest. Your arms strain to lift the massive expanse of your body, your belly jutting out significantly, heavily rounded and undeniably prominent. With an effort that leaves you breathless, you manage to stand, the weight of your abdomen pulling you forward. Your once trusty armor groans and creaks alarmingly under the strain of your colossal figure. The seams are at their limits, threatening to give way at any moment, unable to contain your sheer size. Each step is a monumental task, stirring your hefty mass into a series of quakes and jiggles, your overhanging belly swaying with its own momentum. Doorways, once simply narrow, now present a significant challenge, as you push and squeeze your ample form through their tight confines. Even as you question how far you will go, your determination isn't dampened. Here is another fight with 2 imps. This time they are pre-stuffed with no feeder fairy to top them off for us. Fortunately, they can be one-shot by the warhammer, so it is just about minimizing the damage from their multi-hit spell before the hammer slams down on them. Nice fight. 7 out of 10 needs more feeder fairies. Damn nice, another thick goblin is in our way. Somehow I roll a 1 on my charisma. I like to imagine that I just tried to touch that massive soft pillow and she got super angry about it. Well, what can you do? It's just so soft and inviting. This time I try to use the reckless attack with the chains of chaos. In my head, I calculated that with the extra damage the chains will one-shot the goblin. But I am not good at math, so another hit is required to finish the fight, and not too soon too. She hits like a truck and has similar weight. This is what you get when you put all of your skills into dexterity instead of charisma or intelligence. Now some healing is required, and this turkey leg helps with that. There seems to be many chunky goblins here, as you saw some extremely fat ones before this that you can attempt to talk to, but also these ones that just attack. Well, they are of little challenge now, we will just be smashing past them. Okay, here we go. Now with the infinite quiver we will finally get a good bow. And that dragon bow up there is good, we will sell some stuff to afford it, but it is worth it. And since we did not see a blacksmith yet, there will be one on this floor later, so we can add even more damage to that bow. I think the ice sorceress used to be a boss in an older version. Well, it looks like she is just a high floor enemy now. Well, she does drop some good loot, being the ice shards that can stun any enemy, so that is cool. Again we are at the chunky blacksmith. Well, she just repeats lines from here since she is at her maximum size. Oh well, something for the next update, but here we will do our final upgrade, the dragon bow. Since we have infinite arrows with the quiver, there is no longer a reason to worry about missing with normal attacks anymore. The bow should have enough damage to take down everything before we run out of health. This does also bring into question of ever even leveling up accuracy, but this build can only be done with an infinite quiver and a good bow. I do like how the game already has a few distinct builds that you can work to. I do have high hopes for future updates. Here is the RPG classic. The boss form floor 5 is now a regular enemy 20 floors up. I do wonder if you lose to this one if you get the same story as the boss encounter. Anyway, it should not be a threat. Well, it still hits like a truck, so still good to be careful, and watch the HP, and maybe heal a bit. Each bow hit will kill any slime that splits, so it's just math at the end. 6 turns to kill all of the slimes that split off, and 6 turns for them to try and deal damage. Your entire body is a testament to excess as you waddle through the tight corridors of the tower. Your belly, round and obscenely large, stretches out far in front of you, its sheer weight and girth pulling at your spine. Your thighs, each one as large as an entire torso, straining the limits of your armor. The leather armor that once served as your protection is now bursting at the seams, entirely ill-equipped to contain your mammoth size. Every seam is strained to its limit, the leather creaking as it struggles to hold together against your expanding form. Moving is a monumental task. Each labored step sends a ripple through your body, the sway of your belly seeming to have a life of its own. You are out of breath even before you begin, sweat pouring down your face, staining your clothes and pooling in the crevices of your belly rolls. Each doorway you encounter becomes a battle of its own, requiring immense effort to squeeze your voluminous frame through its restrictive confines. And this is the final shop before the boss. Well, they are selling the bow of the gods, but at 500 gold it's too much. Oh well, it is not enchanted at the blacksmith, so we are only losing out on a tiny amount of damage. As for the rest of it, I will buy anything else that can heal here, so we are prepared for the final boss. Oh look, and the arrow succubus pays us a visit too. Good timing since we have some money to spare on enchanted arrows. I don't think I mentioned them until now, but they are pretty good since the fire ones just add some more damage and ice does a stun. Overall nice to have. We will see if they are any good for this boss.
So another approaches.
As you ascend the final staircase, you catch your breath, your heart pounding in anticipation of what awaits at the peak. The air is thick, heavy with the sweet smell of excess that has accompanied you throughout your journey up the Tower of Gluttony. Each step feels harder, heavier, as if the tower itself resists your progress, testing the limits of your resolve. Suddenly, the stairway ends, opening up into an expansive room, its opulence striking. The sight that greets you is both awe-inspiring and terrifying. There, at the heart of the room, sits the Queen of Gluttony, positioned on a massive golden throne.
You made it.
She purrs, her voice a symphony of sugar-coated temptation that trickles into your ears.
Very few get this far, and I applaud you for your resilience. But why resist when you can revel? Why fight when you can feast?
She waves her hand, and a feast appears, an array of the most delectable foods you've laid your eyes upon, the aromas mingling in the air, tickling your senses, creating a wave of longing within you.
Join me.
She continues, her voice more enticing.
Stay here in this tower, revel in the delights of unrivaled gastronomy, indulge in the pleasures of the flesh, choose a life of pampered hedonism over a struggle of valor.
I sacrifice everything. Entranced by her promises, you reach out and grab some food from the banquet. Your taste buds light up like fireworks as soon as the food enters your mouth. It's the most delicious food you've ever eaten. Unable to control yourself, you reach out for more. A knowing smile graces the queen's lips as she watches you. Your fate has been sealed. A blissful stupor takes hold of your consciousness, wrapping it in a velvet shroud of hedonism. Reality slips away, replaced by a world of decadence where the only goal is the pursuit of the next mouthful. Your life in the Tower of Gluttony turns into a haze of indulgence. Time loses its meaning as you lose yourself in an endless feast, each dish more delicious than the last. Days blur into nights, weeks into months. Food becomes your world, your purpose, your existence. Until one day, you awaken from your gluttonous daze. Moment of clarity cuts through the fog of excess that's become your life. Looking down, you can barely see past your mountains of flesh, your body having morphed into an immobile blob, incapable of any movement. Shock courses through you as the harsh reality settles in. You are a prisoner of your own making, your life a testament to the deadly sin of gluttony. In your insatiable greed for more, you have lost yourself, becoming the embodiment of that which you sought to conquer. A victim of the Tower of Gluttony. Okay, let's redo that, this time struggling. Well, here we are at the top fighting with the last boss. Okay, so like every single boss until now, there is a gimmick. Here she just has gigantic amount of HP and even summons servants to feed her, causing her to heal. Well, you can already see where that is going. but she can also summon random slimes. It seems to just attack you, so nothing special with them, and I will make sure to kill them as they pop up to prevent their extra damage. The servant goblin will always feed the queen if she has any health missing, so it is important to keep her below maximum so she can progress. Yeah, and that is what we will do. Okay, so in this fight, I will try a bunch of random stuff, but I did pretty much figure out the perfect strategy to kill her. You just need to find a hammer that can stun, and get 3 luck potions. I think that she is not able to summon anything if she is stunned, and the hammer does more than 100 damage on a crit, so with 3 potions, that's 9 crits of you just hitting over and over again. There would be no mischance since the attack is automatically a crit, and nothing else would happen in the fight since the only enemy is stunned. In 25 floors you will find a stun hammer, so that is easy, and I think with all the shops, and the special potion shops you should find the 3 luck potions too. And any and all stats are totally irrelevant too. It is a bit lame since you would not see any of the other stages of the queen getting fatter, so you are playing yourself there. You notice that her figure has expanded due to all the healing she's doing. You hear the throne start to creak under the excess weight. The queen claps her hands together, and in response, a honey slime squelches to her side, ready for combat. The servant, noticing that her master has taken damage, starts feeding large quantities of food from her tray into the queen's mouth. The queen of Gluttony was healed by 65 and has gotten slightly fatter. A striking change is evident in her figure now, bloated from the copious amounts of food consumed. The stone floor under the queen's throne visibly cracks, small fragments chipping away under the extreme strain. The queen of Gluttony sits back and watches as her minions do her dirty work. Crack, you hardly dare to breathe as fine fissures appear around the base of the immense throne, a network of impending failure weaving through the stone under the unrelenting pressure. And then the floor gives way. With a sound like thunder, the Queen of Gluttony and her throne go crashing through the floor, her shocked cry echoing through the tower as she plummets downward. You watch as floor after floor crumbles beneath her, the tower finally claiming its queen in a fitting end to this trial.
Oh, look at her falling all the way down there.
Silence falls, heavy and sudden, replacing the decadent symphony of the queen's chambers. As you watch, the lingering energy of the Tower of Gluttony begins to dissipate. The very air, once thick with intoxicating aromas, thins and clears, carrying away the sweetness, leaving behind the clean, sharp scent of ozone and altitude. You look around and see all the nearby goblins, slimes, and other manifestations of the tower turn to dust, leaving you alone at the tower's peak.
Whoa, spooky disintegration.
Pipsqueak whispers, peeking out from the bag's opening.
Don't worry about me though, I'm not actually from this tower, I was just hanging out here.
Then your eye catches it. A metallic glint near one of the walls, the rumored treasure of the tower. Not mere gold coins but artifacts of unparalleled indulgence, glistening golden goblets, jeweled plates, silver spoons, and more. This is the wealth of the tower and it's all yours now. With every piece you claim, placing them carefully in your satchel, you taste the sweet victory that has been hard-earned. With your prize in tow, you begin your descent down the tower. Journey down is profoundly different. The halls are now eerily silent and still as you pass remnants of your previous encounters, every floor a memory of a battle you had fought. Finally, blinking in the natural light, you step out from the tower's base. The air is fresh, the sounds of the town familiar and grounding. Triumphant, laden with riches beyond imagining, and forever changed by your ordeal within the Tower of Gluttony, you walk towards the familiar streets. In the quiet town that lies under the shadow of the tower, a sense of peace has returned. The towering symbol of gluttony and hedonism, once a center of fear and allure, stands defeated and reclaimed. Tales of your arduous journey spread like wildfire, your triumphant return celebrated with jubilant feasts throughout the town. Children gaze at you with wide-eyed awe, their imaginations painting you as the brave warrior who defeated a formidable foe and returned clad in glory. Tales also spread of Pipsqueak, who finds herself becoming somewhat of a local celebrity and the town's official good luck charm. People from far and wide come and give her offerings in exchange for her magical blessings. As weeks turned into months, the constant stream of tributes had a predictable effect. Pipsqueak became incredibly fat. She didn't seem to mind, however, basking in the attention and the endless supply of snacks. As you spend your days in blissful comfort, you cannot help but notice the substantial strain of your clothes, the heavy breaths that escape you even at the slightest exertion. Gazing upon your reflection one day, you are met with the undeniable reality. The tower, although conquered, had not left you unscathed. You had returned with not just wealth, but also a figure that provides evidence of the gluttonous path you braved. Your journey left you noticeably fatter, weight of victory evident as you carry the physical manifestation of the deadly sin of gluttony. Victorious, richer, and indeed much rounder, you had returned forever changed, forever marked by the Tower of Gluttony. The end note from the developer: thank you for playing. As a reward for making it to the end, I'll let you in on a secret. You can access the dev menu by clicking the title of the game in the sidebar 3 times in quick succession. No new content, but lets you keep playing in order to see all the wait stages, max at £600+, and to see how far you can go. But first let's lose to her in the fight.
He.
Defeated, you lay sprawled on the floor, a fallen warrior before the Queen of Gluttony. A triumphant smile plays on the Queen's lips as she gazes upon you, her victory ensured.
I'm impressed truly,
She says, wiping the sweat from her forehead.
It had been a while since a mortal such as yourself challenged me, and you put up quite the fight. But fear not, my brave and fallen soldier.
She coos, her fingers draw tantalizing circles over your stomach.
You'll make a splendid pet.
You are placed in a cage and life in the tower becomes a decadent blur. You are served meal after meal, each one more sumptuous and elaborate than the last. And with no other option, you eat. You eat until your formerly trim physique expands, each day adding another layer to your burgeoning form. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. As the Queen's newfound pet, you lead a life of forced indulgence and helpless lethargy. Food, once a source of energy and survival, becomes a tool for your gradual entrapment. Every dish you consume under her watchful eyes adds to your growing bulk. Until one day you find yourself unable to move. Surrounded by a sea of cushions and silk, a prisoner in a gilded cage, you have grown into an immobile mountain of flesh. With each passing day, your form grows rounder, your body taking up more space in the cage that has become your home. Through it all, the laughter of the queen echoes in your ears, a haunting reminder of your downfall. Once brave adventurer, you are now a pitiful creature of excess, with your only purpose being to eat, grow, and be a constant reminder of the queen's cruel dominance in the Tower of Gluttony. And finally, let's see how far we can go just gaining. Feeling exhausted from carrying your immense bulk, you decide to sit down on a nearby stone bench and take a break, an activity that's becoming more and more frequent lately. Your belly spills outwards, consuming the space around you, each roll glistening with a sheen of sweat that never seems to dry. The tattered remnants of your armor are now little more than lost threads embedded within the folds of your skin, utterly insignificant against the sheer scale of your form. Every breath is a monumental effort, a wheezing gasp that barely seems to draw enough air into your compressed lungs. After some time, you recover enough energy to continue. You attempt to heave yourself back up onto your own 2 feet, but your body simply refuses to obey. Panic begins to set in. You push with your arms, great logs of fat themselves, but they find no purchase. You try to roll to shift, but you are a beached whale, completely stuck. The tight corridor of the tower, once a challenge, is now your prison. The minutes stretch onwards as you continue to struggle. You strain, you grunt, you heave, but the only result is a deeper settling into the unyielding stone and a fresh wave of exhaustion that washes over you. Is this it? Is this how your ascent ends, defeated by your own insatiable hunger, trapped by the weight of your choices? Just as a true sense of hopelessness begins to solidify, a change occurs. The air in front of you shimmers with a cool, ethereal light. It coalesces, swirling like mist given form, until a translucent figure hovers just beyond the reach of your trapped limbs. It's a spirit, vaguely humanoid but flickering and indistinct, its edges blurring into the oppressive stonework of the tower. 2 points of brighter light glow where eyes might be, and they seem to fix on you with an unnerving intensity. Well, now this is a predicament, isn't it? The spirit drifts closer, circling your immobile form as one might inspect a curious sculpture. There's no malice in its presence, only a profound, ancient amusement. Such dedication, it continues, the voice tinged with admiration. Many come, so many try, they nibble, they gorge, they expand. But you have truly embraced the tower's gift, you've become quite the spectacle. It would be a shame for your journey to end here. I must confess, your relentless climb, your blossoming, it has become a source of considerable entertainment for me. The tower can be so dreadfully dull between its true devotees. A tendril of the spirit's light extends, touching your forehead. It's cool, surprisingly so, a stark contrast to the sweltering heat of your own body. Let's not have the fun stop just yet, shall we? A little adjustment, I think. Not to diminish your magnificent achievements, of course. Oh no, your glorious bulk shall remain. But perhaps we can renegotiate your relationship with the ground beneath you. A surge of energy flows from the spirit's touch, not painful but intensely strange. It's like your vast weight is still there, every pound, every roll, every stretched inch of skin, but the crushing, unyielding force of gravity upon it has lessened. It's as if a portion of your immense mass is now buoyant, held aloft by an unseen force. You feel a slight, almost imperceptible lifting sensation, not enough to make you float, but enough to free you from the gravity's greedy clutch. You tentatively try to move a leg. It's still an immense effort, the limb a colossal weight to shift, but it moves. The suffocating pressure that pinned you has eased. You can shift, you can leverage your bulk. Mobility, however strenuous and awkward, feels possible again. Continue your ascent, mortal, the spirit whispers. The tower watches, I watch, do try to be even more impressive. With a final, shimmering pulse, the spirit fades back into the air, leaving you alone once more, still monstrously, almost unbelievably fat, but no longer hopelessly trapped. The path ahead is still a struggle, perhaps even more so now with the knowledge of what true immobility felt like, but the spirit's intervention has granted you a second chance. You can barely recognize yourself, your belly swollen to an unimaginable girth, a massive mound that reaches out far in front of you. It rolls onto your lap, reaching past your knees. The remnants of your once sturdy leather armor hang in tatters, the seams split wide open, the leather torn and irreparable. All that remains is a few scraps barely clinging to your bloated form, the rest lost somewhere along your journey up the tower. Your world has become a struggle against your own weight, even despite the magical buoyancy granted to you. Moving through the tower is a colossal effort, and you find yourself having to take frequent breaks. Almost all of your movements result in panting and sweating, damp trails trickling down the vast expanse of your flesh, each roll of fat glistening with exertion. Doorways have become your nemesis, your body often too large to squeeze through without significant effort and discomfort. Yet, Despite your mountainous size and the hardship of your journey, you push on. Your determination, as immense as your jiggling belly.